Daniel, I wanted to start by painting a picture of what society would look like in a moment of crisis, at this moment of a COVID crisis, if Jeremy Corbyn was the Prime Minister. And what we would see if Jeremy Corbyn was Prime Minister is that workers would be put first, the protection and safety absolutely first. We would have seen an end to privatisation in the NHS, meaning that testing and tracing would be effective and care homes would come under the protection, the umbrella of the NHS. We would see online learning through broadband, where children were able to learn from home and not be disadvantaged because they came from a poor society. We would see nationalisation of industries, Rolls-Royce, British Airways, before we would see mass redundancies or fire and rehire. We would have seen PPE prioritised for frontline workers. We would not be clapping for NHS staff. We would be giving them 15%. We would embrace the spirit of 1946 and rebuild this nation, parking debt, borrowing to invest, having wealth taxes to pay for the crisis. We would offer hope and a debt-free future for our youth, not unemployment and the shackles of debt. Instead, we have tens of thousands dead, we have workers redundant, and youth are faced with the prospect of paying for this crisis. And why is Jeremy Corbyn not the Prime Minister of this country? Because the right-wing media chose to paint the most honest anti-racist of men as an anti-Semite, an anti-racist, a spy. Why is he not Prime Minister? Because a shadow cabinet with Keir Starmer as one of the foremost members of it betrayed our class over Brexit and allowed it to divide us to the extent that we failed to win an election. And we know that he is not Prime Minister because of the behaviour of staff within the Labour Party in 2017 who diverted money and worked actively to prevent a socialist Labour government. And what has happened to those staff who are mentioned in the leaked report referenced 2017? Well, we do not know. We do not know. Some of them are still working for the Labour Party. We do not know what membership action has been taken because their rights of privacy have been upheld in respect of any action that Labour has taken. Paint that in stark contrast to the treatment of Jeremy Corbyn. An email to the ex-leader, not even a phone call from the General Secretary, the leader of the Labour Party going on all forms of media to give his views in respect of the suspension and to try and condemn Jeremy Corbyn now. Why? Because Jeremy Corbyn wanted to talk of the scale of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party in order to be able to tackle it. Because Jeremy wanted to talk of the improvements that had been made under his leadership in tackling anti-Semitism, referenced 10 times in the EHRC report. And because Jeremy wanted to talk of the role of the right-wing media owned by 5 billionaires who want to paint our party as if we have hundreds of thousands of anti-Semites. And we should not look at this in isolation, not in isolation of the treatment of Jeremy Corbyn, of the gerrymandering of the NEC elections, of the failure to oppose the human covert surveillance bill, of the lamentable response to Black Lives Matter, the lack of voice for refugees. We must now have confidence. We have been here before, Daniel, with Falkirk, with Jeremy on the second ballot paper, and we have won. There is already a legal team being assembled for Jeremy. We will not step back from this dispute. And my message to Keir Starmer would be very clear. If you want a civil war, well, it's a civil war of your making, but there are plenty of us who will want to fight it. Thank you, Daniel.